Welcome to the world. This is the FIS Battle of the Champions in Alas Oasis, Saudi Arabia. I'm Ryan Meyer, joined by Freddie White, and this means we're about to get ready to do the roller inline freestyle park finals. We had 12 invited riders out for the Battle of the Champions from 6 disciplines of action sports. The FIS has selected them through their roster and through the global scale of action sports that it's been looking at. They invited them out here to Saudi Arabia to take part in this incredible invitation-only challenge right in front of your eyes. We worked out 12 riders yesterday. We've gone down to 8, I believe, today. What's it looking like?
It's looking really good. We saw a lot of good skating yesterday, but the trainings today proved that everyone was working hard on getting better lines, better tricks, bigger airs. So I would expect that everyone is going to step it up big time because there's a huge prize money on the line, and everyone is really juiced on getting the best they can today, yes.
Talking then about format, how is this going to work out? We just said that we're down to 8 riders.
They're going to have 2 runs of 50 seconds per rider. The best run counts, so it's going to be really easy. The score is on screen after each run, and you can really easily count the points the judges are going to give.
So then talking about the judges, obviously it's a difficult thing to judge if you haven't been involved in the sport. How experienced are these judges?
These judges have been on the circuit for a long time. You have Sven Bokhorst, who's a previous X Games winner. You have Anthony Avila, who also participated in the X Games, and Blake Bird, who's an OG street skater from the UK. And the criteria they are going to be evaluating today is difficulty, the technical difficulty, the amplitude, but also the creativity, the use of the park. It's a big bag of tricks that they're going to have to look out for.
So you see the judges that you were just speaking about, Freddie on screen right now. The nice thing is that you are actually an ex-judge yourself. You have been in this scene for many, many years, and I'm going to be picking your brain as we go through for this entire event. You see the judges getting ready right above there, but we're going to go right down live to AJ Stein, do the rider introduction live on chorus right now.
All right, we are here for the Battle of the Champions presented by FIS in this beautiful oasis you see behind us. We're going to get right into the rider introductions. Our first rider from Rama9, Bangkok, Thailand is Warapoj Note Poonam. Our second rider, sponsored by Scar Body Clothing, all the way from Geneva, Switzerland, Diego Guillot. Our third rider, riding for This Is Soul in Skateland, out of Rotterdam, Jelle Bridgman. Our next rider from Rybnik, Poland, riding for Blade Club Originals and God's Brand, it is Tomek Pishbilik. Adept professional rollerblader from the Netherlands, it is Sam Croft. Our next rider, doing the thing for Blade Camp International, Wish Frames, and Seba Street, CJ Wellsmore. Out of France, riding for Seba Skates, Diaco Diaby. All right, with Team Solomon on his feet, rocking Solar Frames and Loco Skates, your boy, Joe Atkinson.
Allison.
All right.
There you go, the best in the business, the best of the best. Some incredible selection right out there. Joe Atkinson, as you see coming up in our screen right in front of us. You see here, this is the list. Any top riders that you have favorites for? I know you don't really want to say on screen.
Favorites.
Yeah, come on. Who do you like seeing the most?
Let's say my favorite rider today is going to be the one who brings the most surprises to this course. It's a pretty straightforward course, lots of big airs, big jumps, big wall rides. So the one who's able to bring like a little surprise element the little trick that you didn't expect, or the big transfer that no one has tried before, that's gonna be the favorite in my heart today.
And I mean, the thing that we've talked about, and we were just talking about off camera, is this transition. This is a big transition course, and you really don't understand the girth unless you're standing down here in front of the jumps themselves. It is incredible, actually, how big Hurricane Parks builds their parks for the FIS series. This is, keep in mind, a shared course with the BMX freestyle competitors. These are massive transitions. The BMXers have said many times they do not have a box jump this big at any park in the entire world, just to give you an idea of the size.
Yeah, it's truly a gigantic course. FIS area and Hurricane Parks now have definitely upgraded through the year, getting bigger and bigger, just like the riders have been getting bigger and bigger, just like following the evolution of the sport. And like this huge flat 3 on the fun box is prime example. If BMX can fly higher than anyone, no contest. The bladers are definitely doing their best to adapt to this course as well, bring the amplitude and the flair to that course. And coming all the way from Thailand, Mr. Wapuj Buning rocking that fresh and shiny Formosa t-shirt. Limited edition. If you didn't get yours, sorry about ya.
I didn't
sold
get
out.
mine.
Might have 2 small ones left.
I'm definitely not a small.
And that was it. Nice line. Keep on going. Little hangout on the coping right there for note. And that's it, cruising through the park. But as we've mentioned several times, and as you just explained, those parks are so big that the smallest mistake, the little hiccup on the transition, if you land a bit too low on the transition or on the fun box, might cost you your entire run. It's really hard to catch up speed once you lose steam. And that makes it really hard to go through this 50 seconds run with the highest energy all the way through. You could see a little hiccup here on the corner ball, but wonderful speed, especially this nice 5 on the step up. Nice flare, and overall the steez is definitely the ninja killer on this course today. Yes, representing the Cayenne project, my man Note.
Formosa, that's a nice t-shirt. I like that one. Sure there's no else?
We'll dig deep in the crate, but I think we're done, yes.
So from Switzerland, we have Diego Guillard.
Diego Guillou indeed dropping in and going for that big fun box and actually lining up to hit that big vert wall with this 270 back royale and big 5 on the step up. Changed his line from yesterday. I think everybody was eyeing the scores and making sure they could find the little things to improve on their runs or even change the lines entirely. And Diego was one of those guys who figured out he had to change it up if he wanted a chance to get a spot on the podium today. So he's changed it up entirely, but he's still like cruising through the whole park, trying to use all the elements. You mentioned the judging criteria earlier, and that's definitely one of the aspects, being able to use all the elements on the course, touch every obstacle with big tricks, big lines connected all together, and that's what Diego has been doing today. Nice line all the way till the buzzer for Diego Guillou. You can tell it's physical. If you want to reach every obstacle and jump high, as you can see here, like this vert wall is easily 5 meters off the ground, so you imagine how much speed and how much power you have to put through to actually make it to the top. Bio 5 here on top of the course and going up for that 720 at the end of his run. Diego Guillou from Switzerland with a 72.3 score. That's a nice run. Definitely some improvements that can be made, but everyone's testing the waters as well. First heat, you have to see what the others have in store.
Coming from Rotterdam, Netherlands, this is Jelle.
Regeman, Lekkerman. This is Jelle flying 3 on the fun box and big soul grind on the vert wall.
Huge power in those little Dutch legs, pushing amplitude in all these airs.
Alley-oop, top pop star lots of power, as you said. Definitely.
Has the name of this trick changed in the last year?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess everyone is trying to be a little PC, and yes, we decided to upgrade the sport. At least there's been some discussions online, so I'm just trying to not lose my job.
I like it. I was just curious, taking note, trying to understand the tricks a bit more in each of these disciplines. And not the expert as you are, Freddie.
But you've got to learn. You've got a blading camp coming up in Thailand, so you need to learn the tricks already.
I do have a blading camp coming up in Thailand. In Thailand, that's going to be held by CJ Wellsmore. He just did his last blading camp in Dubai. Been hosting it for 20 incredible athletes as he's been coaching them how to ride transitions the way he has learned for his entire youth and adult career, let's say, on the blades.
And Yellow from the Netherlands has also been involved in classes. He's riding for This Is Soul skate shop in Amsterdam, who's also put a huge focus on teaching the youth, bringing more kids on skate, and especially keeping them on skate, teaching them the basic of skating, but also the roots of the sport, the culture. And Yellow is a proud representing of this really flourishing Dutch scene, who's seen a lot of newcomers, lots of new face. So he's one of the older guys here on the stage, but he's also been traveling with Sam Croft, and you can see Sven Bokers, the legend, sitting at the judges' table. So there are many different generations in the Netherlands getting all together and yeah, blossoming together like a nice Dutch flower.
Like a nice tulip, which are in bloom these days. Moving up top of, what do we call this feature? The little quarter whippet wall with coping on top?
The wiggle wall with coping on top. That's going to be it for today. It's a tricky cupping. Everyone's been trying tricks on during the trainings, and you could see Yellow is the Aloop top pop star, but everyone has been trying different things on there today. So I think yesterday not so many people played with it, but we're going to see a lot more of this big wall with the cupping on it.
I mean, I guess the difficult part about this is that Hurricane Parks does such a great job in bringing the parks all around the world, but you can't bring huge coping. So this coping is cut a bit into a few pieces. Tomek does not seem to have any difficulty with that one.
Tomek is one of these expert street skaters. Is really comfortable on his grind, but also on his airs, this fakey backflip. Definitely one of the new tricks he brought in today here on the step up and the backside Savannah. No one has been grinding this obstacle yet, and Tomek is fearless in bringing that bit of technical grinding in his runs. Not so many have. But yeah, that's a tricky part. But from what I've been told, the friend Pascal Moras out in China building parks for Hurricane Parks as well has a concept in mind, and hopefully we'll see some of it on the parks this year with a different system for the coping especially. So us bladers will definitely be looking forward to these improvements. And for now, definitely an improved performance by Tomek Przybylik. It was nice airs, nice transfers, and as we said, some grinds and technical moves on tricky copings. Tomek is really good at bringing it all together, like the more technical aspects of skating. Is that what we're talking about? Freestyle inline skating?
That is some inline freestyle. Beautiful fakey backflip right there.
450 transfer, nice grab for Tomek all the way from Poland, representing Hidden Skate. He's one of those faces that have really stepped up the game. He's been showing up at every feast stop in the last couple of years, and although no one was really expecting him there, he's been improving every time and placing and ranking higher every time as well. So you can see him rip the streets, and he's really productive on the streets, producing edits really often, and at the same time you can expect to see him give it his all at every contest. and he's been traveling with the World Series. And you can see his score here on the screen.
75.83. It's good enough for second place. Solid score right there, but is it going to hold up? We're going back up to the top.
Back to the top with Warpoj Booning. Back to the top with Note. Flying Fish, flat spin 360. Wonderful trick. Amazing style. Nice 5 on the step up. Touching the cupping here. And going back down full speed, getting the amplitude on the hip, on the wedge, hitting the wall. And that's one of the criteria we might not have mentioned, but for people that have been riding under my ruling back when I was a judge here at FIS, style is definitely one of the aspects that judges need not overlook.
You consider yourself a ruler, don't you?
You just have to abide, the dude abides, so should you.
Considering rulers, we have AJ Stein right behind us, getting the Saudi Arabian crowd on their toes. One of the first times, or the first time, many of the spectators out here have ever witnessed action sports, inline, BMX, wakeboard, any of these sports that the FIS has brought to them. So a huge shout out to Saudi Arabia for welcoming us. It's been an amazing experience. It's our second time out here.
And as you mentioned, it's only one of the very first events held here in Saudi Arabia where the crowd has been exposed to these extreme sports, these action sports coming all the way from the Western world, I guess. And it's definitely an interesting experience. The Battle of Champions bringing a different flavor to the youth here in Saudi Arabia, and we were street skating in the area earlier. You can tell the kids are definitely enjoying it and looking up to those guys. So it's great to see the FIS bring action sports all the way here to Saudi Arabia.
Yes, and also, of course, a big shout out to the GSA, the General Sports Authority of Saudi Arabia, for basically pushing sports into the community and wanting to get the youth more active.
Oh, and back on the course, we can see Diego Guiu going all in for his second run. He tried the alley back Savannah on the vert wall, had a little hiccup there, put the hand down, but he's been charging ever since, keeps on going. Charging the big course with his Bio 5 all the way up, and now going down on the hip, 450. Transfer on the hip. And he lost a bit of speed here. A few little mistakes all throughout the run that might cost him a better score. Let's see if he can improve on his first run. I think he might have missed a bit of the power he was able to put through to deliver in his first run. But let's see. Fortunately, I'm not judging anything today. I'm just enjoying the show just as you are, just as I hope you all are behind your screen or here in the crowd in beautiful Halahasa Oasis. A nice mix of flips, spins, grinds all the way up on the vert wall for Diego. Definitely some mistakes here. Yeah, he won't be able to improve on his first score, so he currently stands in 4th place with 72.3. Now we're gonna see the Flying Dutchman. This is Jelle Bregeman, all the way from Rotterdam, as very explicitly stated by his t-shirt. Dropping in Jelle from Rotterdam. Huge split 60 indeed on the fun box, and the alley-oop topsail, whoa, all the way to the top of the vert wall. Big flat 3 on the step up, alley-oop top pop star again on this wonderful course. Yeah, he's giving it all in his second run. He knows that's now or never. If you want to catch a spot on the top of the podium, you have to go all in. And that's what Jelle's been doing, charging the course with lots of power, lots of energy, going back on the hip here and charging the quarter pipe for that old school invert. 6 seconds to go. 540 on the spine. And that's gonna be it.
Wow, right to the buzzer. A huge run for Jelle Brigman right there, coming out of Rotterdam.
Packed a lot of tricks in that one, showing lots of power, high amplitude, lots of energy. Definitely checked a lot of boxes that the judges have on their lists. And that was definitely a beautiful sight to behold. Big 5 on that quarter pipe, and also that old school move, almost grabbing the invert on that one. Jelle Brigman from Rotterdam representing This Is Soul. And of course, feel free to follow him on Instagram, as you can find all the info right here on your screen.
So Jelle just waiting for his second run score to come in.
Blake, Sven and Anthony giving their final word on that one. 77.1 for Jelle.
That
Huge
is going to
improvement.
be your new leader, 77.16 for Jelle Brigman. Oh, pardon me, no, that was his first run score. It's going to be even increasing to an 83.66. He's going to jump into first place right there with miles ahead. And that is going to be a tough score to fend off.
Definitely a big improvement. Misread it for a second, but 83 is really high score. That was a nice performance by Jelle, and the judges were able to see that. But now we're back on the course with Mr. Tomek, all the way from Poland, presenting head-on skate and God skates. And the fakie backflip, that's one he didn't show yesterday, one of the secret tricks he had in his bags. And he kept it for the finals. Wise strategy for Tomek, who's been shredding the course consistently and still coming really strong with the second run. 450 on the hip, right there, hitting the verts. And that's it, 7 now on the cupping over there. So you can see a mix of big spins, flips, grinding on the cupping, a backflip over there on the quarter pipe, still on his feet.
Tomek really knows that he needs to send it completely in his run to get on top if he is going to rival Jelle. Right now, he is currently sitting with that 75.83, a big run.
Big run for
Poland.
Tomek, yes.
Let's take some highlight looks. What was going on here for Tomek's run?
Another 450 transfer on the hip with the mute grab. Beautifully done, just as this fakie backflip with the grab as well. And backflip here on the transition. So from a street skater, that's not necessarily the tricks you might expect, but Tomek has grown accustomed to shredding those big courses, and he's also practiced on the mega ramp for a while. He's been going to Woodward West and flying and almost dying on the mega ramp at Woodward West, but he's definitely shredding every obstacle you can put in front of him and constantly improving. So that's the mindset you want to have if you're going to be competing here on the World Series. Not here actually, but on the World Series in general, because as
we're waiting for the riders to warm up for the second heat, we have some highlights to show you what's happening on the FIS World Series for 2019. Welcome everybody, it's the FIS World Series.
The largest action sports festival in the world.
16 parks, 30,000 kilometers traveled, 500 athletes. All leads to here.
Firing it out, double bar spin. Holy smokes.
Perfect. Absolutely amazing.
The energy from the fans is phenomenal. The largest BMX contest in the world. The Olympics. Who could potentially qualify for the 2020 games? When the smoke clears, we are going to have a champion.
So there you go. That's what's going to be happening on the roster for 2019. You see it right here first. April, we are going to be in Japan, Hiroshima again. So make sure you guys mark that one on your agenda if you're anywhere on that part of the globe. As well, then moving to Montpellier, France, and finishing off things in Chengdu, China. We'd love to see you at one of the stops, but we're now back to all the invited action. The Battle of the Champions, Alasa Oasis, Saudi Arabia, and we are about to have Sam Croft drop in for his run and the start of heat number 2 out here at the roller finals. A big heat coming your way. This is going to be the last 4 riders, the top 4. Sam Croft is starting it off right here. Going in Fakey, then switching things up. Fakey again for the box.
Fakey 540 on the box. You mentioned that Fakey means going backwards, and as you've seen, not so many are actually able to do it on the course, and Sam has definitely been implement that in his runs, because if you can't see it, it's way harder to maintain the speed going backwards inside. Obviously way harder to see where you're going, so that's one of the technical aspects of skating the judges are also looking out for. 270 back stamina here on the coping. Sam has been doing it all as well. Really nice run, touching all the obstacle, cruising the park from one side to the other. Top acid here, touching a bit of the coping, 5 seconds to go. And as we mentioned with Yellow, Sam is one of those younger guys from the Netherlands, showing the new generation what's possible here. Started strong last year on the World Series, won the FIS in Montpellier. One of the new talents on this World Series that you have to look at for. Fakey 5 here, look at this. Big abstract 5 here on the step up.
It's very interesting actually watching Yellow Shredder on this course. The objects don't appear that big anymore. He's just such a huge dominance with his sheer size, standing, I'm sure, 2 meters tall.
Yeah, he's one of this generation of skaters from the Netherlands that seem to share a few body characteristics. Yellow and Sam, like really tall, really strong, lots of power in those legs for sure. And they have this amazing skate park named Skateland in Rotterdam, where they're able to train really big transitions. So that's maybe no coincidence they're able to shred on the FIS course so well.
Well, Sam's score actually coming in here. That's a good 77.26. Second place. That means we have 2 Dutch boys again on top. Jelle Brinkman in first place from Rotterdam. Sam Croft as well, second place. Wow, we got a show coming. But the man from Sydney, CJ Wellsmore, currently residing in Bangkok, I believe. Been doing tours in Dubai. Watch his riding speak for himself out here.
Oh, really technical, and you can see the Wombat flying over the man from Sydney, Australia, who's been shredding huge skate parks since he's a very young rider. He competed in the Asian X Games back when he was 11, and flying that huge 720 here on the hip. Lots of power, lots of energy, and that's exactly why you gotta love CJ Wellsmore. This crazy riding, always with a big smile on his face.
15 seconds left in the tank here. CJ still going strong.
Lots of gas in that tank, that's for sure, here in Saudi Arabia. CJ Wellsmore going full speed, hand flip 360 on the spine. Boom, shakalaka. Here's a backflip to finish things off here for the crowd. CJ Wellsmore.
CJ on fire here.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was CJ for Sydney, the man from Sydney.
CJ for Sydney. The man from Sydney wants to give a shout out to Cindy, saying, hey, honey, I'm going to try and bring home some of that gold for you, honey. So some love for the love back at home watching. Been out there in Dubai. He's been having a fun time doing his camps. The next one is going to be taking place, I believe, in Bangkok. If you guys want to be a part of that, 20 spots are still open. Hit CJ up in his DMs on Instagram. You are going to be able to have a time of your life out there, and maybe
get a chance to meet Ryan Mayer.
Oh, well,
so you can expect only 19 spots are actually open still, because Ryan picked the first one.
Yes.
So everyone come meet my host, co-host Ryan Mayer at the Blading Cup in Thailand, Bangkok.
Hey, but in that meantime, we had the score come in there, an 82.33 from CJ Wellsmore. Good enough for second place. If gold isn't coming home, honey, silver might be.
Boom, and now we're going with the man Diaco Diaby, all the way from Paris, France. And if we're talking power and energy, this is the guy to look out for. Diaco is a force to be reckoned with. I think he took the world by surprise, winning the FIS World Series event in Chengdu last year. This huge 900 on the fun box. Diaco charging up. 360 still going. Boom! Cork 9 on transition. You don't see that one often, do you?
Just these last riders are on fire right now. Diaby, just some an incredible coping tricks as well.
Yeah, and that's a risky one. As you mentioned, there's some tricky parts on that coping, and he's still able to land that switch up out there, bringing more technical riding. 540 alley-oop soul on the buzzer to finish things off. A really strong first run for Diaco Diaby. And as you mentioned, we're going in reverse order, so this second heat is actually consisting of the 4 top qualified riders from yesterday's semi-finals. So you can expect the level to keep on rising and to see everyone going all in to bring that gold home. Let's see how the judges rank that one, but that was definitely a run packed with action, big tricks, high amplitude. Almost got the double grab on that one, but got known in the end.
Diaby actually has this kind of lazy boy style. He just floats a lot of the time in the air. I really love watching it.
He's got those lofty airs for sure.
Look at that replay again. It just seems so effortless, and I feel he really came to his own. And there's another couple of those coping tricks. Maybe you guys can see up there close. It's really different. When you have like a normal skate park, you have rails that either are fully the entire length without a seam in it, or you have the seams welded together and those welds ground down so that there is absolutely no difference within the coping. It's why sometimes you see a blader catch an edge as they're sliding across. It makes it very difficult. Diaby's score right there, a perfect 79, pardon me, but a very respectable 79.66 for third place. We just seem to be lighting up these top 3 spots, and a man who can light it up even better had a nice close-up of those skates. I guess you guys can be commenting in the section. It looks like an S, maybe. Joe Atkinson from Yorkshire dropping in for his first run here of the finals.
Flat 3 on the step up, alley-oop top pop star here too, and hitting the fun box fakie with this illusion 180 abstract. Beautiful, Joe, beautiful skating. As always, the man is going high, he's going fast. 720 on a step up, Bio 5 on transition, riding those solar frames. A nice piece of precision equipment for a flawless riding.
Up here, hitting that Hurricane's quarter pipe and airing back with that transition from the spine into the box jump landing. Something you notice within Joe's riding is he tackles his course in a completely different way than the other athletes. He's taking different line selections, a lot bigger that he has to keep tons of momentum for. Beautiful hand plan right there over the spine.
And that's it, right on the buzzer as Joe finishes his 50 seconds run with yet another trick. He banked so many of those in this run. Once again, the second hit, as you said, was going to be the one to look at for, and that's true. Everyone's been riding so well. No falls, no miss, but different skating being expressed by different skaters on this course. It's really interesting to see. Everyone's going all in, and it's going to be interesting to see what the judges put on their focus, what's their focus going to be on today, and who's going to take first place, because all of them have been riding absolutely perfect today. So now it's a matter of really checking those boxes. Use of the course is going to be, I think, one of the main elements. And if you want to please your host here, Ryan Mayer and Freddie White, a little bit of surprise and a little bit of fun, and if you have a smile on your face, of course, it's all a bonus.
Whoa, we have a new leader, Joe Atkinson, 85.66 on top of the board and pushing almost 2 points ahead of Yella in second place right there. That means CJ Wellsmore moves into third position. Still enough for podium contention right now, but we have one more rider who can bump him out. That's Sam Croft. It's your first rider of heat number 2 going for his second run out here at the Battle of the Champions in Alas Oasis. Sam dropping in fakie there again.
Fakie and fakie 5 on the fun box. You said You said it right, Ryan. It is the battle of champion, and with this second heat, with some of the best riders from last year's World Series, you definitely have those champions giving it all on the course for a chance to bring the gold home. Sam has been putting together amazing runs. His first run was very solid, very consistent, maybe missing some of those biggest tricks that were seen in the top 3 spots. So let's see what he can do here to improve on that score. He's still doing it perfect though, like lacing tricks all over the course, touching all the obstacles. And he's gonna be lacing that Phillips 66 on the spine. Again, fakie 7 actually on the transition over there, and getting the cheering of the crowd for his second and final run.
Wow, some big riding coming out of this second heat here. Sam Croft though, pushing the Dutch Kingdom colors there in that orange t-shirt as he flies miles high over that step up right there in front of us, as you see on the replay. If you guys just tuning in, this is Battle of the Champions, the FIS Invitation Only Edition in Las Oasis, Saudi Arabia. We have come all the way out here to the Arabian Desert, welcoming 12 top athletes, inviting them from 6 incredible disciplines of action sports. We have right now the roller freestyle final happening in front of your eyes. We had finished already. Oh, and a big upgrade, but good enough for 4th place for Sam Croft. Very respectable, bumps out Diaby into 5th place. So Diaby is going to be going in 2 riders. See what happens next. Right now though, we have CJ Wellsmore trying to bring home the gold for his honey. Let's see if he can push up 2 spots, sitting currently with an 82.33. This is the Miracle Boy from Sydney, CJ Wellsmore.
And dropping in with the soul grind all the way from the top of the vert wall, flying on reverse on the fun box here, going full speed, hitting the corner here on top of the course, and 450 transfer here, flying with that double grab, ending with the tail, and boom.
Coming back up into the hip right here.
Wow, and that reverse 720, I-loop 720 on the hip. That's crazy. This boy is crazy, and that skating is absolutely insane.
Tackling the course as well with a few different line selections as he came into this hip. That's something that the judges are really going to be noticing, how you can dissect this course and really find your own line through it. CJ getting some last hits in here as he has 5 seconds left. Good enough for a hand plant.
The hand flip 360 on the spine. That was once again a very powerful run. You mentioned it, he has the skills to dissect the park in a way only he can. It was really interesting to see this run. Definitely no one else matched any of that. It was really the true expression of CJ's skating. He showed more power hitting those corner balls. And you can see here with the highlight, this big 450 drop in on the hip, and alley-oop 270 on the transfer here with double grab. 540 abstract on the fun box as well, spotting his landing and keeping the line going fakie with that wall right here. CJ packing so many tricks, I'm losing my voice here. Hand flip 360 on the spine, you've seen it. CJ's done it, he's done the thing once again. CJ Wellsmore awaiting his final score on his second run.
Definitely awaiting the final score in anticipation as he rolls around in front of the judges booth there. Currently, we're sitting with an 82.33. The score to beat right now is of the other boy, Joe Atkinson. Everyone's friends out here. Makes it a bit more difficult as you're pushing into contest. But Joe right now, he's sitting 3 points ahead with an 85.66. Let's see what the judges have to say. Is CJ going to have what it takes to improve with his second run score and push up at least? He needs 2 points to go ahead and take out second place. Let's see what the judges say. He's going to be an 84, good enough for second place. Silver it is right now for CJ Wellsmore, 84 even.
So he's now assured a spot on the podium as Diaby is the only one who can bump him down to the third place now.
And as well, that means we only have one more person left to bump out Joe Atkinson, as Joe will be our last rider to ride today. Diaco Diaby, the last man to do it, out here at the Battle of the Champions.
Boom, huge 720 to start things off. Diaco is not afraid of the pressure, he's used to perform. And look at the amplitude this guy's got. Top acid here, oh no!
Diaco unfortunately going down, and I'm gonna have to call it on that, is going to take away his chances at robbing the Yorkshire man Joe Atkinson at the cream of the top.
Yeah, his first run was near perfect, so he needed to just like fine-tune the very little details and maybe throw another banger in there. And it would have been
that 9 right now.
It would have been amazing to see, but unfortunately 2 falls on his second run. This is not gonna work for Diaco, but he still has a really respectable score. Definitely disappointed after those 2 misses on the second run, but it was really still an amazing performance. You can see him flying on the fun box over there, checking those highlights. That's where he missed on the first go, the top acid up there. But he laced it on the second and then went for the 9 on the fun box and overshot the landing, wasn't able to stick that one. So unfortunately, he won't improve on his first score.
So he is going to continue to keep his first run score there in a 5th place position. That means our next man up in the gate is going to be your official champion out here at the FIS Battle of the Champions in Alas Oasis. Thanks so much for tuning in to watch this one. This is Joe Atkinson doing his victory lap here in Saudi Arabia.
Lap for Joe Atkinson, still going all in for the crowd and for you, dear viewers. Going high on that, whoa, that 360 and then alley-oop fish brain here on top. This fakey illusion abstract 180.
Talking about the Miracle Boy coming from Sydney, CJ Wellsmore. Joe has been spending a lot of time in Sydney filming some video parts. Hopefully those are going to be released soon for you. I hear they're going to be very blue.
They're going to be bluish and they're going to blow your mind. Yeah, as Joe confirmation, they're dropping very soon. They're going to be online for free. So Ryan, I hope you will be watching those, and all of you, dear viewers, I hope you will be tuned in and won't miss this release, because it promises to be another masterpiece by the man Dom West once again with Mr. Joe Atkinson, the wonder boy from Yorkshire, who has been doing it again here at FIS in El Hassa Oasis. Today, taking first place. We're going to be waiting for his second score, but the one from the first one will be enough to guarantee the first place for Mr. Joe Atkinson and a 4,000 euros cash prize here.
So amazing skating going on out here in the desert of Saudi Arabia. Joe Atkinson, you see there on screen, just doing a little fun demo for the crowd out here on his second run, which ends up being his victory lap, winning it all with that first run score of an 85.66. You see right there, that's your leaderboard and the standings right there. We're going to get into it in a moment. You see the BMX athletes already on top of the course. They're wanting to get things worked out. If you guys want to stay tuned, we are going to be having more action coming your way. That means BMX Freestyle Finals. They're going to be happening tonight at 6. Stay tuned for that. If you guys want to stay tuned for all the rest of the actions. Here is how it looked. CJ Wellsmore taking the top spot. Freddie, what else does it look like?
CJ Wellsmore in second place. Pardon me. Joe Atkinson in first. Yellow Briggerman and Sam Croft in third and fourth. Diaco Diaby in fifth. That was an amazing contest. It's been a pleasure to watch this with you, Ryan. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Freddie. I love the handshakes. We'll see you next time out here at the FIS Battle of the Champions.